Welcome everyone to today's video where we are going to find out how strong is a goblin. And should you make yourself a goblin army? That's going to be the biggest question, and I think absolutely you should go out of your way to make your own goblin genome army. I know this page looks like a hot mess through butter, but I can tell you a lone goblin in melee with his bare claws is worth something. Abso-freaking-lutely. And that's just not me having bias-based opinions. I think a good goblin is able to. And see, 1v1 right here, Gary taking on his first opponent with ease. No issues whatsoever. So why wouldn't you want to use one? 2v2. Here we go. There's no way that a goblin would be weak in a 2v2. I doubt it. He can absolutely handle his business in a 2v2. And I have no doubt that he is going to get his business done. So Gary, let's get going. See, look at this. They got distracted. One of them tried running away, knowing he was going to die. And that's the best part. Everything lines up well. Gary taking care of business. So far, standard goblin 1v1 wins. 2v2 wins. But this is where the biggest question for you guys is, well, can a single goblin 3v1? How good is a goblin? Well, for balance, we'll just have to see. Oh, that big hit for that stun is what is going to be our downfall, I imagine, with some major hits coming in. There we are. Gary down in a 3v3, so a goblin cannot solo 3 enemies on his own, especially if he's getting stunned. We did rip off the guy's foot. He's probably going to bleed out from that. And what took us down was a destroyed right ear. So, can a goblin 3v1? Well, I'll tell you what. Haku here, I think we're going to have Haku take care of these 3 guys, and we are going to bring Gary to where he is in the show. A hero. Because with I think it's Rimworld Talents, is one of my favorite mods, giving everybody some form of a talent. Our main character, Trash Can Mold, is a hero. So what we're going to do is we're going to patch him up, and we're going to make him a hero as we take care of these 3 guys. What that means for being a hero is in the show, Gary alone matters. If he dies, it's game over. It doesn't matter how good our base is, how far we could go. Without Trash Can Mold, that's it. Here's where we find out the power of a hero. How good is he against a weapon? I can tell you, he's gonna be just fine. You guys have seen him in combat so far, and it only gets better. Already, we're ripping eyes out. We're dodging. We're taking some hits. I think that's like the 4th or maybe 5th hit we've taken. Let's take a peek. Gary, how you doing, buddy? Just fine. Look at that. 4 major wounds. Nothing crazy. Now, should you create your own goblin army? Well, yeah, I think you should. I think if you were to start a game with 4 goblins, with how fast they reproduce and how fast they gestate, you will have an unstoppable goblin army. You wouldn't even have to make weapons, as long as you played it well. Even in a 2v2 against 2 armed individuals, that hero trait carries us. But even in testing 2v2 against 2 weapons, we took more injuries in a 2v2 with weapons, but we still came out on top. It's the 3v3s that get sketchy. This one, the AI freaked out, bugged out, and didn't attack us. So we won out pretty well with this. With the amount of damage Gary has done, and how strong he is, even as a hero, he's still worth it. Even as a normal goblin, he's still worth it. So should you create a goblin army? I absolutely think you should create a Goblin Army. And we're going to go a little bit even thirstier with it in the show this season. We're going to become a vampire. 100%. We are going to become a vampire, and it's going to be even better than it was before. But that being said, okay, look, I have one final recording to prove to you why Goblin Army is best army. One final video. All goblins, all humans are 100% equal playing field going into this. All their needs are maximized. All their melee stats equal in opportunity. 1v1, you know it's going down the only way it absolutely could be. You saw Gary do it. Right now, this guy, who is it? Beluga? Beluga. 1v1 wins. Simple as that. Moving into the 2v2. It's basically a 1v1 done twice. But will we get one person winning first? Who knows? But I can tell you this. There it is. The gang up. 2v2. Goblin wins. Even with right second toe being destroyed, we're still on top. Here it is. The final two. Elite versus elite melee competitors. Sure, we took a big hit there. But look at this go. Look at it. You know, once one human goes down, Goblin gang up on the other. It's brutal. No weapons. Both of them being dropped at the same time. Injuries are there. Sure, some destroyed toes, but now the final. So you know, Goblin Army, Goblin Tribal Army, unarmed against humans, who is going to win? That's right. You know it. You love it. You've come to expect it in this video. Goblin victory in unarmed combat. No armor tested other than a plain leather tribal wear. That's it. So here you see the results. Goblin Army, the more armor you put on them, the better they're gonna be. You don't even need to give them melee weapons. They will get it done. Just have fun with it. Make your own Goblin Army today. Thank you everyone for joining me in today's episode of, I guess we'll call it Genome Combat something or other. Let's see, what should we call it? Let's call it Genome Testing Grounds. Thank you so much for joining us in Genome Testing Grounds. It has been a huge pleasure. Thank you to the patrons for supporting the channel. You too can support the channel. Also, you can support it for free by hitting like, subscribe, and commenting. And if you have a genome you want me to test in the Genome Testing Grounds to see if you should invest in an army of this type of genome, I would be happy to test it out for you. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.